2 innocents are gunned down in a convenience store.
Please, watch, show me, please.
I believe that the suspect went in there and thought, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get rid of anybody who might be able to pin it on me.
When veteran detectives deem the crime unsolvable, a rookie named Joe Kenda of all case.
This is a stranger upon stranger crime, the most difficult of all criminal investigations.
But has the young detective bitten off more than he can chew?
I knew Joe Kenda from the day he came on the job. He had an innate talent for that work.
I felt my career hinged on this case. I had no idea if I was going to resolve this, but I was confident that I would die. And I often heard the expression, good old-fashioned police work. It's not old-fashioned. It's police work. It's the methodical pursuit. That's what it is. And if that's old-fashioned, then that's what I am.
As the sun begins to rise over the high plains, the neighborhood of San Miguel is just starting to wake up.
That early on a Sunday morning in Colorado Springs, I mean, many cars on the road or people shopping or anything like that. It's a very quiet time.
Around 6:30 a.m., rancher Fred Howard pulls into an empty convenience store parking lot.
Fred Howard was a passerby and decided to buy a newspaper.
Sir, what happened?
Guy tells him, hey, help me out. Somebody is shot in there.
The cashier lies in a pool of blood. As Fred Howard is trying to help, he begins to feel that something is amiss.
What does he see? This pointing a gun at him. Then it dawns on you, oh, I just walked in on a robbery. This is somebody who is going to kill me.
Across town, a promising young detective is going over some casework with a fine-toothed comb.
At that particular time, I had been on the police force.
Detective Joe Kenda has recently been assigned to the burglary unit.
I wasn't comfortable there. I didn't like it. It didn't interest me. If I'm going to investigate serious crime, I want to investigate the most serious crime. What interested me was murder.
It wasn't easy to get a slot in major crimes. Back in those days, you had to work your way to it.
One doesn't go off the street and directly into homicide. So my plan was certain that I was doing the right thing every day. I thought that that would get me noticed.
But so far, all Kenda's hard work and ambition has earned him is the animosity of a few veteran detectives.
I was one of the few, if not the first officer employed who was a college graduate. So I suffered the slings and arrows of my compatriots who referred to me as the college boy.
You're going to re-qualify the shoot course here, sir? That's what I'm...
Whoa. Are you old enough to drink coffee? College boy?
We could probably get you some chocolate milk in the back.
It'd be the constant reminder that I must be really smart because I went to college and they didn't go to college. And on. It would never stop. It was every day. Which I assured them it was true that I was in fact smarter than they were. So it was kind of a little game we played.
Experience as a young cadet and seeing the old timers. Some of them are pretty intimidating. We had some pretty big old boys back in the day, and they were pretty gruff.
On this particular morning, the hazing is interrupted by the sergeant in charge of homicide.
Break's over, guys. Got a possible double on the west end. Need all the help we can get. I'm available, sir. Okay, Clemens, what you got?
Burglary detective to work a potential homicide. Kenda hangs back.
Sir, I got 2 victims inside shot. Female, she's shot in the head over right eye.
The female victim is cashier Susan Irving. EMTs rush Susan to the hospital, where she is in critical condition.
And the male, he's shot in the chest and the head one time. He might make it.
Fred Howard, who came to the store to buy a newspaper, is also at the hospital, undergoing emergency surgery.
This is a robbery resulting in a shooting of 2 people, who in this case were both eyewitnesses to who this robber was.
The robber's intent was to kill somebody or seriously injure them.
That is very, very different than what you normally see in armed robbery.
Open the register. Okay. Hurry up. Give me the money. Hurry up. I'm so sorry. Please don't shoot me.
He is willing over a very small amount of money. That's about as cold-blooded as it gets.
Kenda's itching to get a closer look at the crime scene, but the homicide sergeant has other plans.
You too. Inside. Y'all campus out here. Kenda, go with these guys, see what you can find.
Yes, sir. Let me show you the crime scene.
I was assigned to the peripheries of the case, contacting other people of my... It was 6:30 on a Sunday morning. Most of them were either in bed or just gotten up.
And where do you live?
Just up here around the corner.
Did you happen to see anything today? Out of the ordinary?
No, sir.
Did you hear anything? Any gunshots, noises, yelling?
No, not really. Just all the commotion with the sirens.
No one had any knowledge. No one heard anything. Nobody saw anything. So I returned to the scene to tell someone that my initial assignment met without result. And I was in the process of doing that right in front of the front doors of the 7-Eleven when one of the homicide detectives came outside and he opened the door. The open door was an invitation. And I started looking.
I knew Joe Kenda. Joe was a very astute individual. He was cerebral in the sense of being able to digest clues and evidence and to direct the focus of an investigation.
A lot of the food displays had been knocked over. The magazine rack was tipped over. Obviously, a physical confrontation and struggle took place in that area.
There seems to be zero evidence that will identify the shooter. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Kenda...
I saw an identification bracelet with a linked chain laying on the floor of the store.
But no sooner has Kenda noted this evidence, he's taken to task by one of his superiors.
Kenda, what the hell are you doing?
I'm just looking at the evidence. You know, with this bracelet here, we can
Get your ass out here.
Yes, sir. For Christ's sake.
Damn college kid. I don't think we're going to find anything in there. I think this is a random shooting.
Kenda can't help but overhear the veteran detectives discussing the case.
We could canvass for a quarter of a mile and not get anything. I don't think we're going to find anything.
Why don't we focus on some things that we can get
We
done
need to
right
move
now?
on to more important things.
I agree.
And hopefully something will come up eventually.
I listened to the older detectives assigned in homicide, who are all trying to convince each other that there's too much work. Boy, we'll never get this one. This guy's a stranger to these people. He's not their husband or their boyfriend. He's a complete stranger. And I thought, how odd is that? That we're just going to give up?
And there's always a scenario in cases where talk about old guard or old timers being less than enthusiastic, and sometimes all it takes is somebody with maybe a fresh perspective that could make the difference in the case.
And at that moment, I thought that maybe this could be an opportunity for me by volunteering.
If nobody else wants this case, I'll take it.
Sounds like the college boy wants a little extra credit. Hey, give it to Fred. Give it. Fine with me.
Well, yeah, we have a saw before recess.
Absolutely.
Your sergeant doesn't have a problem with it. We're fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a look at that bracelet?
Sure. Help yourself.
They've saddled the college boy with an insurmountable problem, and they are amused to no end.
Fellas thinks he's gonna find.
I didn't know what I could do. I wasn't supremely confident, but I knew I was certainly willing to try. And it was apparent to me that no one else was. You've dropped the gauntlet, and I just picked it up.
Rookie burglary detective Joe Kenda has volunteered for the first potential
Other detectives believed that there wasn't enough there to lead to the identification of a suspect. Everyone else is looking at me like I've lost my mind, and I was feeling wonderful. I had no idea if I was going to resolve this, but I was confident that I would die in the attempt if I didn't get it resolved.
The only evidence at Kenda's disposal is a bracelet the killer left behind.
I put it out, and I turned it over with a pen, and I see the name Ingrid. It's a girl's name.
They were not jewelry store type bracelets. They were just little ID bracelets that were popular at that time, and you would put somebody you cared about's name on it. It was just the thing that boyfriends and girlfriends would give each other.
That didn't seem promising to me, but it's still a link.
Have at the scene of a robbery is an ID bracelet that's left behind. Your chances of solving that case are probably pretty slim. Not impossible, but slim.
Kenda heads to the hospital to see if either victim is in any condition to talk. He starts with Susan Irving, the young convenience store cashier who was shot in the head.
Excuse me, doctor? I'm Detective Kenda.
Detective?
Do you know where I might be able to find gunshot victim Susan Irving?
She's heavily sedated right now.
Could I at least see her?
No, but I'll let you know when she comes to.
Thank you.
Hospital personnel's first concern is the health of the patient. Their last concern.
Unable to speak with his witness, Kenda reluctantly prepares to move on.
There was a time in my career when I didn't understand that if you look like you belong, everyone assumes you do.
Good morning, doctor.
I learned that here. I would just walk around hospitals like I wore a suit. I would never say I was a doctor, but of course I wouldn't correct them either.
Dr. Kenda finds Susan Irving's room.
I just walk in, and two nurses were there, and they looked at me, and they sort of nodded, and I nodded back, and nothing was said. And they both got busy doing something.
Kenda is hoping Susan Irving can describe the shooter when she comes to. Edition.
She has a gunshot wound of the head. She has edema of the brain. She's been sedated to try to reduce that pressure in the brain. So we're not going to interview Susan now or maybe ever. I was standing there wondering about what to do next.
What did you do to her? supposed to be in here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It scared me to death. So my first attempt at posing as a medical doctor went rather badly. I got better at it as time went on.
With Susan Irving off limits, Kenda hopes the second victim, Fred Howard, can identify the shooter.
Mr. Howard was, in fact, a native of the state of Colorado and had a lot of experience around ranches and ranch work, and he dresses the part. The surgeon there told me I had his permission to talk to him. He said he's under medication, so he may not be accurate in what he says to you.
Fred? I'm Detective Kenda.
Hi, Detective.
How you feeling?
I've been better.
It'd be really helpful if you could tell me everything you know about the shooting.
He said, so I went in, and a girl at the register is on her back, and there's blood everywhere.
So I knelt down. About that time, I hear this click behind me. And so I turn around. And he shot in my finger.
And then he shot me again in the chest. And I knew if I didn't do something, he was going to kill me. And I grabbed his wrist, and I felt that bracelet, and I just jerked on it, and it came off.
What can you tell me about the shooter?
Well, he's a young guy. Maybe a little shorter than me. White guy, I think.
You think he was white, or you're not positive?
I'm not really sure.
White male, 20 years old. Maybe. Maybe not. But one thing, he wears a bracelet with the name Ingrid on it. That we know.
That was a brave thing you did. And I appreciate the time.
Sure, Detective.
Get better soon.
Thanks.
A robber willing to kill is walking the streets of Colorado Springs, and it's up to Kenda to find him. But that's beginning to look impossible.
Kenda, where's the suspect? You leave him in the damn car?
Oh, the victim. They are, but neither one of them knows who the shooter is.
Other detectives believed, based on their experience, which is certainly more than I had, that there wasn't enough there to lead to the identification of a suspect.
Sounds like to me you're beating the damn dead horse. Maybe it's time to move on.
Kid, if the victims can't ID the guy, you got nothing. Yes. You can't expect to catch him with just a bracelet. Sometimes it happens this way. You can't solve them all.
They were right. They were right. I was extremely aware that my opportunities for resolving this were slowly circling the drain. This is a stranger upon stranger crime. The most difficult, but it never means it's impossible. It never means that. Because in order for it to be impossible, you have to surrender. And I was unwilling to surrender. We have two victims in this case that have been brutally attacked with gunfire during an armed robbery.
Now, it's up to newbie detective Joe Kenda to track down their attacker.
I saw it. Mr. Howard was suffering the pain of a gunshot wound, the loss of a finger, and the trauma of surviving an event like that. I was going to find who did that to him. I was going to find who did that to Susan. And I was going to do something about it. The only thing I've got that might get me somewhere is a piece of junk jewelry.
Sometimes it takes a little more insight. Sometimes it takes working outside the box. And that's where your good detectives get results.
So, okay, our shooter is a guy, is wearing a bracelet with a girl's name on it. That's his girlfriend, or at least someone that's close to him. I sat at my desk, and everyone else went home. and I had the bracelet laying out on my desk. And I just kept looking at it, and I was hoping it was going to say something, but it never did. I'm looking again at the way it's engraved, and it looks odd to me. You look at this Ingrid, and it's double cut, which gives it kind of a 3D effect. Maybe there's a reason why it's different. I don't know what it is. I'm not a jeweler, but I know someone who is.
Hey, John.
Joe, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
So if you could help me with something.
Sure.
We took this off a robbery suspect. I was wondering if you'd seen anything like it before.
Oh, yeah, I've seen these.
How about the engraving on it? It's kind of unique.
Yeah, you know, the new Hermes system.
That was done with a new Hermes engraving machine. How do you know that? He said, I've got one. He said, they're the only machine that does the double cut.
Do you have the phone number for new Hermes?
Yeah, let me get it for you.
Armed with this information, Kenda calls New Hermes.
Yes, I'm trying to find out who in the Colorado Springs area uses your engravers.
They provide him with a list of everyone owns one of their engraving machines.
Thank you. Bye.
I've gone pretty far from staring at this thing on my desk, hoping it would speak to me, to 27 places where it was probably made.
Kenda sets out to visit each one of the 27 stores in hopes of finding out where the bracelet in question was engraved.
I start going to these places and ask them and show them the item, and you ever do anything like this? And the answer is no, 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 no. We're looking at the engraving machines in the city of Colorado Springs, even though there's this little voice in your head that says, well, yeah, but what if it's Denver? It could be Denver, Kenda, you moron. It could be Pueblo.
In an investigation, you have to be thorough, you have to be detailed, you have to be persistent, you have to be bulldogish about it.
So I am about halfway on my list of machines. And I go to a place, this little place was called the Can Do Shop.
I'm working on an investigation. Do you recall selling that?
Oh, yes, I remember that name. About 2 weeks.
Can you tell me about the buyer?
Oh, a couple, a young white girl, black man.
And I'm thinking, black boyfriend. Mr. Howard said he's a white guy.
Are you sure he was black?
Oh, yes.
And she says, you know why I remember him? Why? He argued about the price. He thought it was too much. He was loud. He was profane. That guy was an asshole. And I thought, well, I'm certainly looking.
Kenda believes the gentleman the jeweler is describing is his shooter, despite the fact that her account of him differs from the one given by Fred Howard.
It's not uncommon for people to make mistakes about what they remember. They're trying to remember something that was so traumatic that the only thing they can think about is the pain and the gunfire.
Now, who paid for it?
She did.
Did you happen to write down her name and address?
Oh, yes, we have receipts. Would you like to see that?
This being 1977, most small businesses would have those pads that had the carbon copy in between them.
Kenda hopes finding the right receipt will lead him to the shooter. But when the clerk hands him the first of several shoeboxes full of paperwork, he realizes it's a job easier said than done.
It's like 700 receipts.
You sure it's in there?
Absolutely.
Howard fighting for their lives. Kenda struggles to bring them justice.
So we found the needle in this haystack. We found the machine. Now we need to get into another haystack and find another needle.
Detective Joe Kenda is working his first potential homicide and is on the hunt for a violent armed robber who shot down 2 innocent people at point-blank range.
Mr. Howard wound up shot because Miss Irving got shot because she went to work. Is there any behavior on the part of either one of those victims that allowed them to be a victim that morning? Absolutely not.
Kenda's only clue, a bracelet with the name Ingrid engraved on it, has led him to a local jewelry store. If Kenda can find the receipt, he hopes it will lead him to Ingrid's boyfriend, the shooter.
I sat there for a couple of hours, taking from the box, read it, set it aside, so on and so on. I find it. The name Ingrid and an address on the west side. I had to assume that she's making this for the guy that's with her. So I go back to the police department. I had one of the techs pull every incident of any kind that happened in the 100 block of where this girl lives. Wrecks, shots fired, domestic violence complaints, anything that might lead me to who this guy is. Anything. I didn't care what it was. Now, I couldn't find anything that linked a guy to anything in that 100 block. Until the afternoon of the second day, and I find a parking ticket issued for wrong side to curb, directly in front of her house, not somebody else's house, hers. His name is Swain. He is a black male. He is 21 years of age.
Is this the suspect Kenda's been searching for? Right now, Fred Swain is simply a name, nothing else.
So I go into the criminal records area.
Swain.
Right here, sir. I got it.
Great.
There you go.
I'll bring.
He's got a record as long as your arm for assault with a deadly weapon, for armed robbery, for possession of a firearm by a previous offender, and on and on.
Fred Swain's lengthy rap sheet isn't the only thing about him that fits the profile.
He lives at 1210 Potter Drive. That is 3 blocks from the convenience store. 3 blocks. It's very common for robbers to rob where they live.
They can work in their own neighborhoods because they're familiar with the area.
He's my guy. He is my guy.
Kenda draws up an affidavit for an arrest warrant, but he's worried that the lack of physical evidence might prevent the judge from signing off on it.
To the pool, and I'm not going to drown. So I literally describe nit by nit, second by second, how I got to where I was.
The fate of the investigation lies with the district court judge.
Your Honor, I have a arrest affidavit for you to review.
And it was 17 pages long. The judge even raised his eyebrows when I handed it to him because the way
Police officers have to present to a judge sufficient information that builds to probable cause. At that point, the judge examines all of the facts. If that's sufficient, then an arrest warrant is issued.
I felt my career hinged on this piece of paper. My heart is going like a trip hammer. I know that this is the guy. Can I convince a district court judge that I'm right, being the arrogant...
Good job, Detective.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I didn't walk out of his office. I floated. I thought I had just become Sherlock Holmes.
Now Kenda has all he needs to tighten the noose.
I believe that my shoes are covered in gum. I must be a gumshoe detective because I know who he is. He doesn't know who I am yet, but he's about to find out.
Well, this guy's a shooter, so we don't want to take him in the house. I'm afraid he might barricade himself in.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he needs to come from behind us to get in here. So if you want to go down around the corner and hide so he doesn't see the marked car.
It's just going to be you and your partner trying to take this guy down. You're going to try and take him down in this situation where it's being able to get away.
Kenda and the officer stake out Fred Swain's apartment.
The The officer is sitting between two buildings, relatively out of sight. And I'm parked at the end of the block, and I'm watching my mirror to see the approaches on the street behind me.
After several when suddenly,
here comes our man Fred, driving his car.
So all of a sudden, it's a scramble. It's going from 0 to 100 in 0.2 seconds.
Out of the car!
I knew that Fred had a gun. I knew he wasn't afraid to use it. But I had a gun, and I wasn't afraid to use it.
Kenda is lying in wait for Fred Swain, the prime suspect in a ruthless double shooting.
I think he'll barricade if we try to confront him at home. So let's take him in the car. The principle is overwhelming force.
Out of the car!
And I rolled out in front of him and blocked him. You want to convince this person in a microsecond that there's no escape. And if escape is attempted, gunfire is going to result. He has a gun in front of him and a gun behind him. If he's armed, he's going to have to be an acrobat if he's going to shoot his way out of this.
Your hands on your head!
As Kenda tightens the cuffs, he realizes he has an audience.
I was getting followed around by the press, probably because somebody told them that this college boy had this case. Well, the press that had been following me took a picture of that. And it was half of the front page of the newspaper. Police arrest store robbery. This was now day 5 since this incident occurred. And I have my guy. The guy they said I would never find.
With veteran homicide detectives looking on in the interrogation room.
Clear hand. Have a seat.
I don't have anything to say to you.
Are you sure that's the way you want to go?
Okay, Fred. Good. Remain silent. But don't forget you do need an attorney, by the way. And in fact, in your case, my boy, you might need 2 of them.
Even without a confession, Kenda has a pretty good idea how the crime went down.
He selects a place where nobody's around. It's 6:30 in the morning. The only thing that's around is the money he wants and one clerk to overcome.
Open the register.
Okay.
Hurry up.
Okay.
Hurry up. Hurry up. Give me the money.
I'm so sorry. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. Please. Please. Don't shoot me, please.
Now, what prompted him to shoot this girl, I don't know. It is possible that he walked in there intending there not to be any witnesses to this crime. He'd been in prison before, maybe he didn't want to go back.
Swain notices Fred Howard approaching.
He has seen him, or he might see him. So his plan is to shoot him too. That's about as cold-blooded as it gets.
Sir, please, help me. What? Sir, I need some help.
What? So he entices this man to come inside so he can shoot him.
Oh my God, call 911.
kill him. And he loses something in the process of that I find, that I'm able to stick down his throat.
But Kenda will need more than a charm bracelet in order to make the charges stick. So as Fred Swain, Kenda obtains a search warrant for his apartment.
There's dirty clothes everywhere. There's empty food containers everywhere. The place is filthy.
I'll start down here. All right, I'll go upstairs.
We conducted a search at his apartment. We find a pistol in his bedroom nightstand. Our ballistics people examine a bullet they have that they've recovered from Mr. Howard's chest, and they determine without question this is the weapon used in this crime.
What about Fred Swain's girlfriend, Ingrid?
I did speak to her. She had no knowledge of the event. She had no knowledge.
In the following weeks, victims Fred Howard and Susan Irving are both on the road to recovery.
To have both of them survive and just go on, I mean, it's like getting hit by lightning. They are the luckiest people in the world, and I hope that they've had long, happy lives.
Instead of murder, Fred Swain is convicted of armed robbery and 2 counts of first-degree assault. But the presiding judge doesn't let him get off easy.
The judge in the case, who was, in my opinion, one of the best judges on the bench at the time, was so offended by the behavior of this individual that he sentenced him in such a way that Mr. Swain will never get out of jail.
The thing that struck me is to, I think, make sure there were no witnesses left to this crime. The ultimate sentence was 60 to 98 years in the penitentiary.
As for Kenda, his tenacity doesn't go unnoticed. After solving the case, he is officially transferred to the homicide unit.
Initially, I was frightened that I had a big mouth and started myself there from. But it's the chance I took.
He had innate talent for that work. He was the right guy for homicide.
Great job for a college boy.
There were many people that did come up to me and say that was quite a piece of work. And that was nice. It was nice. It made me feel good. But doing it is what made me feel good. At the time I took this case on, I was being an arrogant, silly kid who was in a get even. But as it proceeded, I lost all interest in that, and I became focused on the victims of the crime and finding someone responsible. And it was a euphoric feeling when I did find them. And I believed after that case that I was on a mission for the rest of my life, that this is what I was going to do.
A gruesome discovery.
They found a woman very badly decomposed. There was direct evidence that she had been sexually assaulted.
As Lieutenant Joe Kenda hunts for the woman's killers, a second homicide sends the investigation spinning in a whole new direction.
This case becomes 2 cases who are deeply interconnected.
When all leads run dry, the case goes cold.
Some of my cases, but 8% I didn't. The 8% tortured me then, and they torture me now.
But there's always hope, even for the coldest of cases.
Sometimes things never change, sometimes they never go anywhere, but sometimes they do. Having a very strong feeling about a murder case. and knowing through your experiences in court that you don't have a case. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you can prove.
It's a spectacular Sunday morning high on Cheyenne Mountain, 15 miles west of Colorado Springs. Michael Berry and Shane Minozzi have been hiking the mountain trail since dawn. They're just about to break for lunch.
The individual kind of trips over something. He looks down to see what it is, picks it up, and identifies it as a blue-colored shirt.
Oh, that's weird.
Thinking the owner might come back for it, Michael leaves the shirt where he found it. But a few steps later, he makes another unusual discovery.
Look, I'm starting to get a little freaked out.
You know, at that point, it's like, this doesn't seem right. Then they discovered something that didn't look too good at all.
Dudes, look. What? What is that? I don't know, man.
They didn't find this blanket, which, as they approach, they start to notice a very offensive odor.
What is that?
Oh my God!
When they pull it back and see what they believe to be a human body.
Down in the valley below, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is spending Sunday afternoon catching up on his list of household chores.
I'm out mowing my grass with an old gasoline-powered lawnmower that made enough noise to wake the dead. When I was doing that, you couldn't hear anything.
Joe! They're on the phone again.
So I turn off the mower and pick up the phone.
This is Kenda.
Dispatch tells Kenda that human remains have been found on Cheyenne Mountain.
The body's decomposed and patrol is asking for investigators.
See you next Sunday.
Sorry, Kathy.
She looked annoyed. Again, everything is as usual.
By the time Kenda arrives, the first response unit has set up at the base of the mountain trail to direct his investigative team to the crime scene.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Gentlemen.
Trail about half a mile. I'll take you down there if you want.
Okay, great.
Kenda hikes up to the scene, where he finds a smaller than usual response team.
There is no medical there because this is decomposed remains, so there's no fire truck, there's no ambulance, there's no EMTs.
Hi, T. How you doing? Good. So we got human remains. Up here underneath the blue blanket, body's in pretty bad shape.
There are enormous changes during decomposition.
Bloating, color change in the skin, very difficult to say race. So your investigation starts off in a hole deeper than normal.
Find any personal belongings or ID?
She was naked when the hikers found her. Other than this blue shirt and sandals, nothing really.
There's no identifying factors on the victim's body, whether it be jewelry, wallet, or anything like that. So we're challenged by trying.
The victim's body has also been ravaged by the forces of nature.
Unfortunately, there's been a lot of carnivorous activity.
Whether it be from the smallest field mouse to coyotes to wolves, any carnivore could come in and disturb the scene by chewing on the victim. It just compounds the investigation because they may be taking critical evidence with them.
What little remains of the victim suggests she suffered an unthinkably savage.
It's going to be hard to determine cause of death, but there are clear signs of sexual assault.
One of the really disturbing parts of the crime that allowed them to know it was a female was because she had been raped with a stick. The stick was left protruding from the body.
First impression I had of this is just an incredible amount of violence and an incredible amount of rape, thing like this.
Lieutenant, we did find a foreign substance on her.
There is a spot on the victim's leg which was believed to be possibly semen that was recovered from the scene.
Is there enough to pull a DNA test?
It's tough to tell, but we'll get everything we can here.
Of the use of DNA testing and the capabilities of that testing, we don't know how much of a sample is required to make a test result.
The samples collected at the scene will be analyzed using existing DNA technology, then stored for additional testing in the future.
All of her fingers are still intact. Possibly we can ID the body with prints.
As the woman's body is removed from the mountains,
Hey, we discovered a body of a female, small in stature.
The first step is to contact missing persons and determine if there's anybody that recently, in the last couple of weeks, has been reported missing who matches the general physical description of this body.
Come in. Hey, Lieutenant, missing persons might have a match for us.
They return with the information of an individual named Sharon, who they describe as a 30-year-old Hispanic woman who is 4'10" and weighs 105 pounds. That general physical description matches the remains that we have found.
That afternoon, the coroner's office cross-references the name Sharon Sclavos with existing print and dental records.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, Joe. Give me just a second.
They take the latent fingerprints, they compare them to the inked impressions.
Looks like we have a match.
This is Sharon Sclavos. All 10 fingers match.
The fingerprints also reveal a critical detail about Sharon's past.
Why do you have her fingerprints on file? Did she have a record?
I know her criminal record's clean. These come from a psychiatric facility.
So she was committed?
Yes, sir, in 1984.
You find out that they're a mental health patient. It aggravates the investigation. Any one of her mental state factors could come into play when you're trying to determine what happened to this victim.
Also, we detected alcohol in her system. She had been drinking that night.
All right, thank you.
Kenda's next step is to notify Sharon Sclavos' next of kin, her sister, Angela Martinez.
Sharon comes from an extremely large family, very to give them the worst possible news.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but we found Sharon. And she's no longer alive.
It's everybody's worst fear. It was a huge moment of grief for them.
I know this is difficult, but we need to ask you a few questions so we can find out who did this to her.
Ma'am, we know about Sharon's mental health issues, but could you possibly tell us the nature of her problems?
Angela reports that Sharon suffered this nervous breakdown approximately 10 years earlier.
Can you tell us what happened?
Her husband committed suicide right in front of her, and she never recovered.
She has apparently become an 8-year-old in terms of her emotional state.
Ever since her breakdown, Sharon has lived with her sister Angela.
Sharon would spend her days helping out with grandnieces and grandnephews, helping them with crafts. She enjoyed working in the yard and helping with gardening.
Can you tell us what happened?
I usually never like to leave Sharon alone. But that night I got a call to go into work. Hello? Tonight?
Angela has to go to cover someone's work shift.
Sharon, honey, I have to work tonight, okay? Okay. Good night, sweetie. I'm locking the door. Don't let anyone in, okay? Okay.
Angela tells Kenda that when she returned home from work the following morning,
Hello, Sharon?
the house was eerily quiet. She goes to Sharon's room.
Sharon?
Sharon is not there, and her bed has not been slept in.
with no sign of Sharon, her family reported her missing.
Because of her mental state, family members were worried that she'd be vulnerable to strangers.
She usually likes to be outside and wave at the cars, waiting for somebody to wave back at her.
Kenda wonders if Sharon might have gotten into the car of a passing stranger.
This kind of person, given her circumstances, means that she's a victim in search of a crime scene. It makes her an incredibly innocent and in some ways tragic potential victim of a crime. We are investigating the original disappearance and ultimate death of Sharon Sclavos, the 30-year-old mentally handicapped female whose badly decomposed body has Colorado Springs. We are in contact with her sister and care provider, Angela Martinez.
Angela has informed police that her sister Sharon was unable to assess danger and often initiated contact with strangers.
Was she known to get in any vehicles with people she didn't know?
No, never. She waved at cars and that was just good enough for her.
Angela, the coroner found alcohol in Sharon's system.
Ay, Dios mío. No, not at all.
But Angela's daughter, Bianca, seems to know something more than she's willing to say in front of her mother.
Bianca, would you mind talking to me outside for a minute?
We need to separate the two of them and speak to Bianca away from the presence of her mother.
Do you know something about what happened to Sharon?
I'm not sure what happened to Sharon, but you said they found she was drinking?
That's right.
His boyfriend. And I've seen him give her alcohol before.
And she thinks that's an awful thing. And she just is suspicious of him and his behavior.
And I told him not to do it because she was sick. I don't know, maybe he thought it was funny or something.
It would be obvious to anyone that no one should provide alcohol, a mood-altering drug, to a person who suffers from mental illness. That certainly is a red flag.
And what's his boyfriend's name?
Jose Ruiz.
You know where to find him?
Probably the wagon wheel.
Bianca tells me that Jose Ruiz is a regular at a local nightclub, pool hall, and bar well known to the police.
He goes there all the time.
Well, thank you, Bianca.
Wagon wheel is just a place where bad stuff happens, and those places draw a crowd of people that are pretty good at making bad stuff happen.
Many of these people are criminals. They know based on the cheap suit and the clean shoes that you are the man.
We're looking for a Jose Ruiz. Has anybody seen him? I know he's a regular here.
No one wants to see us, and no one wants to talk to us.
Listen, or anybody else. But if no one can tell me where to find him, we most certainly could be looking for someone else.
So it's in everyone's interest to tell me who Jose Ruiz is.
Which one of you two is Jose? Who's asking? I am, CSPD. Yeah, that's me.
He is, in fact, Jose Ruiz. He's the correct Jose Ruiz.
Do you know Angela Martinez Sclavos? Yeah.
So I explained to him that we're investigating her disappearance on the 22nd of last month.
Where were you that night? I was right here.
Shooting pool in this bar. Who can verify that? Well, he can, my friend. And he points to the guy he's playing with.
Who are you?
Rafael.
Rafael what?
Valderrama.
Rafael confirms that both he and Jose were shooting pool on the night that she were all night together.
Jose, I'm sorry to inform you that Sharon was raped and murdered on Cheyenne Mountain.
What? Oh my God, that's terrible.
I'm just not comfortable with his reaction to the discovery of her death.
I can't believe it, not Sharon.
It seemed feigned to me. It's as if he wasn't surprised. Now, who would not be surprised? Someone who knows about it.
Would you two mind coming down to the station and answer a few more questions?
Jose has no problem cooperating. That's a plus for his side. So off we go to the police station.
The two men are interrogated separately, starting with Jose Ruiz.
Why don't you tell me about the night Sharon disappeared?
I was shooting pool at the bar with Rafael. So he had to say this was schooling. You better order me shots. Waitress, can we get another round?
You get pretty toasted. and they decide that they're going to go over to see Angela, so Raphael goes with him.
You gotta work on your game, homeboy.
You got lucky.
Yeah, I got lucky. And you here? Yeah, come on.
Nah, I need to get back.
Come on in, it's early.
Not tonight, man. I need to head home.
Man,
Raphael leaves. He thinks he can't remember because he was drinking a lot. Jose comes in the house with his key, looking for Angela.
And you here?
She's not there.
Where was Sharon then?
I don't know. I didn't see her.
Jose says he decided to crash on the couch for the night.
He gets up. There's no Sharon there then.
Where was she?
I have no idea.
So his alibi is, in some ways, the best kind. He doesn't have one.
Jose, I'm gonna have to ask you to submit to a biological sample. Would you be willing to do that?
Sure, I guess so. I don't have anything to hide.
Officer?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and get a swab from him.
Over, another of Kenda's men interviews Rafael Balderrama. His statement is almost identical to Jose's.
I dropped him off at Angela's and went home. That was it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a biological sample from you.
DNA science is very new. I don't know if we have sufficient amounts of exemplars from the remains to compare to the samples we've just taken. But I know that if it's ever going to be happening...
Though both Jose and Rafael willingly submit DNA samples, the tests are not yet sophisticated enough to determine if either is a match for the genetic evidence collected at the crime scene.
They simply didn't have the technology necessary to test the evidence recovered from Sharon's body. That DNA had not quite progressed to that point yet.
Go ahead, Uncle.
We didn't have any physical evidence to be able to hold these two individuals for this crime, so all we really could do was release them.
2 weeks roll by. With no new breaks in the case, Kenda is at a loss.
I'm sitting in my office driving myself crazy over the Sclavos case. Despite all of our effort, we're not anywhere better than we were day one, and we're at like day 30, and I'm not...
Then, the investigation takes a radical turn.
This is Kenda.
We've got a double shooting at the wagon wheel.
Okay. One is dead, one is alive. The one who's alive is Rafael Balderrama. Well, my, Rafael. What are you doing being involved in a shooting? Here we are, stuck in neutral in the Sclavos case, when a call shooting in the same bar where two persons of interest in the Sclavos case spend their time.
When Lieutenant Kenda arrives at the wagon wheel bar, he finds a chaotic scene.
Hey, Brian. Lieutenant, so what do we got? Oh, we got two shot in front of the food truck over here, one of them by the name of Rafael Balderrama. Who's the other one? Marcus Castillo.
Marcus Castillo.
Marcus was a recent arrival from Mexico, and he is pronounced DOA at the hospital, multiple gunshot wounds to the chest.
Marcos Castillo was a sad story. He was 25, but apparently he'd come to the States and sort of vacillated a little bit and then made the decision to stay.
But Marcus's dreams for a new life have been cut short.
What's the condition of Rafael Balderrama? He's shot in the leg. He's en route to the hospital.
He's not going to be under anesthesia. He's not going to be under anything. They're going to treat him and release him from the hospital.
How were the victims found? Right over here, sir.
There are bloodstains on the sidewalk at the approximate location where the victims were found. There are small caliber expended casings on the sidewalk.
So what are you hearing from the witnesses?
They're saying the two Vics were in line getting some food.
It's a rimfire .22 long rifle.
Witnesses report the shots being fired from a pistol.
What else are they saying?
They're saying it all started in the bar.
There's a verbal confrontation between the two shooting victims and the two people that wind up shooting them. This is all over the girl that was murdered and found in the mountains last month.
This detail catches Kenda's attention.
That's Sharon Sclavos. These cases are obviously linked. We can determine who's responsible for this crime. It may lead us in the direction we need to go to solve the death of Sharon Sclavos.
I'm gonna go talk to the bartender. Sounds good.
The bartender has helped us in the past, so we talked to her.
Well, Raphael came in with his cousin Marcus.
Marcus Castillo just got here from Mexico, so they came over to the bar to celebrate his arrival.
What are you doing? What's the problem? Hey, guys, relax.
But then it got kind of out of hand and they started yelling at each other.
Do you have any idea what they were saying?
It was pretty loud, but I did hear the taller guy ask Raphael, "Why'd you do it?" I don't know.
And then it broke up, and I thought it was over. Until sometime later, I hear shots outside.
Do you happen to see who the shooters were?
No, I never seen them before.
Well, thanks, Claire.
No problem.
So now our next step is let's go see Raphael. We know who Marcus is. It's his cousin. We know they're in a confrontation. And we know the small Hispanic guy had said something to him. Why did you do what, Raphael?
Within the hour, Kenda is sitting across from Raphael in a recovery room at Memorial Hospital.
I need you to tell me about the shooting tonight. Let's start with the people that shot you. Do you know them?
Yeah. The big guy's name is Chris Kenny.
How about the other one?
Ed Rubio. He always had it out for me.
And why is that?
He thinks me and Jose killed Sharon.
Did you?
No. Sharon was like a sister to me.
We don't know the details yet. We further know who.
All right, Raphael. You're probably going to be seeing more of me. So don't plan on leaving town or anything. You understand?
Yeah, whatever.
Lieutenant Kenda to dispatch. Ed Rubio and a Chris Kenny.
It doesn't take the records department long to provide Kenda with the information he's looking for.
We discover criminal histories on both individuals. They provide Rubio's address. He's my person of interest.
10-4, Kenda out.
So we go directly to Rubio's house.
Police, open up!
The door starts to open, looking at a female, and I am quite frankly surprised.
Bianca?
What are you doing here, and what does that have to do with this? So we've been navigating this complicated minefield of two brutal murder cases that are somehow interconnected, and I'm not sure how. And we now are involved in the pursuit of a person we know is responsible for the shooting death of Mark and the wounding of Rafael Balderrama.
Lieutenant Joe Kenda has tracked down an address for the man suspected of shooting Balderrama and Castillo. One Ed Rubio. But when he knocks on Rubio's door, Kenda is greeted by a familiar face.
Bianca?
When we arrive at his home of record, Sharon Sclavos' niece, Bianca, answers the door. How is this person perhaps connected to another?
Lieutenant Kenda? What are you doing here?
Do you know Ed Rubio?
Yes, he's my husband.
Ed Rubio is your husband.
Well, that certainly explains that. Now that we know the connection between Ed Rubio and Sharon Sclavos, that he is married to her niece, it's glaringly obvious to me that Rubio attacks Raphael for killing Sharon Sclavos, and he makes his intended target, and he kills a bystander, Marcus Castillo, who has been in this country for exactly 2 days.
Is he here?
Uh-huh. Ed, honey?
What's up?
Mr. Rubio, could you step outside, please?
What's going on?
It's okay.
He is not armed. He is cooperative and somewhat docile.
Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for first-degree murder.
He didn't do anything.
We handcuff him and remove him from the home.
What's going on? What is this about? He didn't do anything. Please stop. Ed!
Kenda's men have taken the second suspect, Chris Kenny, into custody.
So we have both of our people almost immediately, and we're now going to conduct an interrogation of both of them separately.
Chris Kenny.
So what happened last night?
We were just shooting pool like normal. And Raphael comes in, and, Ed just gets pissed.
His mere appearance seems to set Ed off.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, man, what's your problem? Do what?
Hey, relax. Come on. Take it. Sharon, come on. Take it easy. Get out of my way.
With that, man.
Come on, relax.
Ed goes back to shooting pool, but he continues to talk about it.
Ed. Then finally Raphael left. Ed just couldn't take it. And
Let's go.
He goes outside after him.
Yo, let me get a burrito with everything on it. Open my shoes out, man.
Ed decides that enough is enough.
Hey!
Both of these men are shot. They fall down as soon as the shots are fired.
Come on, let's get out of here, man. Come on, man, let's get out of here.
Somebody call an ambulance!
The other guy is... I don't even know him.
Go ahead and stay with him. I'll be back.
Sir.
In an adjoining interview room, Kenda's men question Ed Rubio, who's surprisingly forthcoming and unapologetic about the shooting.
I saw Mel said laughing, I just snapped. He had to pay for what he did to Sharon.
Revenge begins as white-hot rage. Then it simmers for a while. And when circumstances permit, the trigger can be anything.
So then what about Marcus? Why
got in the way, man?
Ed's intent is to kill Raphael. It was not his intention to shoot Marcus Castillo. So this emotion of revenge has resulted in what? Raphael is alive, a perfect stranger is dead, and Ed Rubio is going to jail, and so is his friend Christopher Kenny. Not exactly the result they had in mind. There isn't going to be a victory. There's going to be a bus ride to the Colorado Department of Corrections.
It's clear to Kenda that the shooting of Marcus Castillo and Rafael Balderrama is an attempt on Ed Rubio's part to avenge the death of Sharon Sclavos. But Kenda isn't convinced that proves either Balderrama or Jose Ruiz has anything to do with the Sclavos murder.
All right, we need to get Jose Ruiz back in here.
Yes, sir.
Let's find Raphael also. I want to see if their stories have changed at all.
On our side, to where people forget what they said. They provide different stories, indicative of a lie at one point, so we really would like to interview them again.
But hours later, Kenda's team returns with troubling news.
Raphael's gone, sir.
Gone? Where?
Nobody knows.
Raphael's been released from the hospital. He has not gone to work. He has not gone home. He is nowhere to be.
His girlfriend said he went to Mexico.
Mexico?
Yes, sir.
If Jose has made it to Mexico, I do not believe we will ever find him, see him, or be able to apprehend him. Mexico is a foreign country, but in most ways, it's another planet. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible feeling when it's so important to me to do every case. And I just can't.
Without a confession or concrete physical evidence to work with, the investigation into Sharon Sclavos' murder goes cold.
I did solve 92% of my cases, but 8% I didn't. And the ones, the 8% tortured me then, and they torture me now.
But even with the coldest of cases, Kenda knows there's always hope.
So there's all sorts of reasons why cold cases get resolved. Sometimes years later, things never change. Sometimes they never go anywhere, but sometimes they do. At this point in this investigation, we have resolved the death of Marcus Castillo by arrest and by confession.
Edward Rubio and Christopher Kenny both plead guilty to second-degree murder and are sentenced to 32 years in prison. But the case of Sharon Sclavos remains unsolved.
Can I avenge the death of Sharon Sclavos at this point in my life? No, I cannot. The police department, with that case hanging over my head.
In 2001, a cold case unit was created to periodically review unsolved homicides, including Sharon's. Then in 2010, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation re-examines the DNA evidence in her case.
The CBI says there has been a dramatic change in DNA testing, and they are now they determine in their considered scientific opinion that Jose Ruiz is responsible for the sexual assault of Sharon Sclavos at the time of her death, just as I suspected.
With conclusive DNA evidence linking Jose Ruiz to Sharon's murder, the cold case unit mounts a full-scale manhunt for Ruiz and his suspected accomplice, Rafael Balderrama.
Balderrama.
What is it?
Looks like he's dead.
So Rafael's ability to be prosecuted is now off the table. They are left only with the prosecution of Jose Ruiz. His location at that moment was unknown.
Finally, in March of 2012, the cold case unit catches a break.
Jose Ruiz has applied for and received some benefits from the Social Security Administration. They are able, as a roofer in the state of Nebraska.
The officers also obtain a phone number for Ruiz's family.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Ruiz?
The cold case unit gets in touch with him through members of his family, and they scam him.
Can you get him an urgent message? Yes, I'm calling from the Social Security Administration.
The cold case unit tells his family to tell Jose that someone is stealing his checks and they can get his money.
Within the week, Jose Ruiz arrives at Colorado Springs Social Security Administration.
Oh, how may I help you?
Yeah, I'm here to pick up my Social Security checks.
May I see some identification?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. Please have a seat over there, and we will be right with you.
They have him.
Jose Ruiz here?
And they call the police.
Jose Ruiz, you're under arrest for the rape and murder of Sharon Sclavos. Stand up, put your hands behind your back.
What are you talking about? Oh, man.
Whereupon Jose is arrested by warrant and charged with first-degree murder.
With the new DNA results as evidence, the case goes to trial in 2013 about the events they believe took place back in the summer of 1994.
Sharon was left alone because her sister got called in to work a night shift.
Good night, sweetie. I'm locking the door. Don't let anyone in, okay?
Okay. Sharon was quite obedient. The problem was, Jose, the sister's boyfriend, had a key.
You got lucky. Yeah, I got lucky. Yeah, I'm about to get lucky. And you home?
Jose comes in the house with his key looking for Angela and finds out she's not there.
Prosecutors argue that contrary to their original statements, Rafael Balderrama entered the home alongside Jose.
Hey, Sharon.
She was so mentally compromised at that point, you know. She would not have known how dangerous the situation was.
You're looking really pretty. Did you just get your hair done?
Mm-hmm.
Where the brooms, bro?
Hey, Sharon. Want a drink? Huh?
No. I'm not supposed to.
No?
No,
Why
thank
not?
Angie.
No, it's okay. You can try it. She told me it was okay.
and Raphael started feeding her alcohol.
Come on, Sharon, you want to dance?
Sharon, let me see your dance moves. Come on.
Dancing?
Yeah. Hold on. Get over here, Sharon. You want to dance? Come on.
Danced with her a little bit.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Sharon. Come on.
Where are we going?
Going for a walk.
We are?
According to the prosecution, at approximately 3 a.m., Jose Ruiz and Rafael Balderrama drove Sharon to an isolated section of Cheyenne Mountain.
When they became more physical, sexually physical towards her.
Sharon!
She ran, fell down. They overtook her, actually sexually assaulted her.
It was, in the most classic sense, overkill. I mean, she had been raped, then she'd been raped with a stick. They bashed her over the head.
Leaving her in the mountains to be found by our hikers.
Come on, let's get her out of here. Come on.
It wound up going from just a really awful, salacious sexual assault on essentially a child to a death of such brutality and anger.
Nearly 20 years after the death of Sharon Sclavos, Jose Ruiz is convicted in court of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and sexual assault, and sentenced to life in prison without parole.
But Jose's sentence offers little consolation to the Sclavos family.
With this case, I think it's just the brutality of the circumstances. In a remote mountain area, there was direct evidence of sexual assault on site, and I think the idea of someone with the mind of a child being disposed of in this way is part of what makes this such a haunting crime.
Another sad part of Sharon's murder is that it led to the subsequent murder of another individual who was with the wrong person at the wrong time and killed.
The case becomes two cases who are deeply interconnected. Everything that could happen badly did in these cases. However, there is something known as the long arm of the law, and it reached out and tapped Jose Ruiz on the shoulder 20 years after the fact. Justice prevailed.
In the aftermath of a 5-alarm fire, first responders discover a lifeless body.
More frightening, horrifying way to go.
The smoke and the smell and seeing the body, just an awful scene.
But the evidence suggests the deadly inferno was no accident.
Somebody used gasoline to spark this blaze.
It is obvious to anybody this is an intentional criminal act.
Sergeant Joe Kenda and his team are in hot pursuit.
He has exhibited an extreme indifference to the value of human life. We need to find him right away. He needs to be off the street. Arsonists have almost a sexual attraction to the fire they set. They are in love with it. It fascinates them. And they will stand there until the last common thing in arson fires, that the perpetrator is standing next to you when you are there at a crime scene. Because he has to watch. He has to watch.
In an apartment just east of downtown Colorado Springs, college student Herman Lozano is resting up for a big exam.
I was going to school and I was trying to get a technical degree in fiber optics. I was asleep and I felt these lungs and I felt thirsty. room was engulfed in smoke. I mean, like, blinded. That's when I knew it was a fire.
I can't imagine the panic that you would have in that instance as being just stuck in a coffin, basically.
But when I got to the door, that door was cherry red. Touched it and it burned me. No way I'm going out this way. Every time you took a breath, it felt like your lungs were going to explode. That's when I looked at the window. And I was like, it's my only way out. I was going to jump out that window. There was no other choice. It's either that or burn.
What does he do? He's getting ready. When all of a sudden, it's almost like the hand of God reaches out, and it's a Colorado Springs firefighter.
God bless the firemen. They were there for me. It saved my life.
Once he's a safe distance from the blaze, that one of his neighbors was not so lucky.
And that's when I seen the body come out. And that's when I realized that he was dead. I mean, it wasn't good.
A few miles north, Sergeant Joe Kenda is lying in bed, wide awake.
I have never seen what I've done. It's still true to this day. I have nightmares every night.
Kenda.
Dispatch tells me that a building at 502 East Pikes Peak is fully engulfed in flame. There are injuries and possibly one death, and they are requesting homicide.
Okay, I'm on the way.
When I arrived, there are medical people present. There are injured residents. There's a lot of people there. Fire is something that fascinates people. There are two natural fears among humans, animals and fire. So fire has an attraction all its own.
Hey, Sergeant.
Hell of a way to start the day. So what do we got?
Right, this building's a bar on the left, a couple of small apartments in it. Most of the fire damage is in the upper level, but the bar doesn't look good either.
Well, the name of the bar was the Rumors Bar, where a lot of regulars went. Neighborhood kind of bar, was well known in that community.
I take it not everyone survived?
No, we found a body in apartment 2C.
We are told that the residents escaped this fire, but one, a 34-year-old man named Randall Pierce, was discovered collapsed on the floor. They put him in an ambulance, sent him to a hospital, and he was pronounced dead on arrival.
Do we know the source of the fire?
We don't, but there's a fire investigator in there right now looking.
All right, I'll talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind throwing my coat in your car?
No, I don't care.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Kenda steps into the smoldering building to meet with the captain of fire investigations, Mike Gower.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
It'd be better if I could...
The role of a fire investigator when they arrive at the scene is ultimately to establish the true cause of the fire.
Is this an intentional act, or is it an accident? That's what I want to know.
So what are you thinking? Electrical fire?
I'm afraid not. Let me show you something. Clear signs of alligator charring.
Alligator charring refers to when you have deep burning, the wood gives up its water content. It leaves behind a very lumpy texture. It looks like the back of an alligator. It typically means there was high heat in the area. When we see that, we automatically become suspicious.
In terms of intentionally setting a fire, one requires an accelerant. The most readily available accelerant to anybody 24 hours a day in the United States is gasoline. One finds evidence of gasoline as the source of fire. It is obvious to anybody this is an intentional criminal act.
check the victim's apartment? Yeah, let's take a look.
Watch your step.
When he enters the apartment, Kenda can't help but notice how Spartan the living conditions are.
Randall Pierce was down on his luck a little bit. He was a veteran, been in the Air Force.
He's only lived there for about 2 weeks. He kind of stays to himself, and he's trying to put his life back together.
Right here is where we found the body.
When you find a fire and you find a body that's either unconscious or dead, the body itself protects the floor under it. So when that person is removed, it leaves this perfect outline of this individual on an unbiased soot.
It's a ghostly appearance. It's a reminder that this is more than just a fire. This is a loss of life that we need to get to the bottom of.
When I see the shadow of Mr. Pierce on the floor of this fire, I become very concerned. Mr. Pierce is on the floor. He's not sitting in a chair. He's not at a window on his knees trying to breathe air. That raises the distinct possibility that he was made that way before this fire began.
But before Kenda can finish searching Randall Pierce's apartment, he's overcome by a sickening feeling.
It's very difficult to be in a structure right after it's burned. The odor's very strong. There are a lot of small particulates that are floating around that you can't even see, and you quickly start choking. It's extremely difficult.
It's sick to your stomach. The odor is almost overwhelming. It is truly unique. Firemen know the smell very well. The average person doesn't.
Mike, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, me too.
We can go back to this later.
All right.
It's obvious that we just can't stay in here much longer, so it's time to back out and do some other things.
Man, I don't know how you guys deal with that on a regular basis.
I'm not used to it. Hey, Captain, Sergeant.
What's up, Del?
We found something around back. Let's take a look at it. Look at this.
We're able to find some footprints, building in about a half an inch of snow that had fallen earlier that morning. They were strange in that they weren't walking. You didn't see footprints 18 inches apart or a natural gait for an individual. The person that was wearing these shoes was running.
Now, if I was the guy who was going to start a fire and that fire ignited, I think I'd be running as well. Killed, they make mistakes because they are an emotional wreck at the time this is going on. Is this something you forgot? I hope it is something you forgot.
It took firefighters less than an hour to get a handle on the blaze, which broke out just after 5 this morning above the Rumors Bar on Pikes Peak Avenue. When firefighters arrived this morning, they found 3 people hanging outside of the windows waiting to be rescued. The wire, he was found on the floor in the top corner apartment.
The evidence suggests so far this could be a murder and a concealment fire. And we have found footprints leading away from the building that could certainly belong to our killer.
Before following the trail, Kenda needs to safeguard the evidence.
You want to go ahead and get some detailed photographs of those prints?
We want to make certain we have preserved them on film. Turn a dude who's wearing these shoes, we're going to know if they're the right ones.
All right, let's go.
We follow these tracks a very long way through a neighborhood. They're on sidewalk, they're in the street. The person never stops running.
But as the tracks lead farther and farther away from the crime scene, Kenda spots a problem overhead.
I look up the sky, it's clear the sun is on its way up because this is a very small layer of snow. And when that sun hits it, it's going to disappear and so are my prints.
All right, we got to keep moving.
But within a few more steps of that, we were just into slush.
The The sun reaches the area, and my prints disappear. We have found nothing. They have led us nowhere.
The sun was our enemy that morning.
It's always frustrating when a lead doesn't pan out, but somehow it's worse when the lead disappears in front of your eyes.
Hey, Sergeant. Hey, here's the photo of the shoe print.
Wow, this is great. We did have a pattern that we could match up to a person that we may run into our interview.
I'm sure this will come in handy down the line. Want to start over here? You got it.
Kenda and Gower shift their focus to the residents who escaped the fire the night before.
I'm looking for a reason why Mr. Pierce would be a victim, and my only potential source at this point for that information is the other tenants in the building.
Excuse me, I'm Sergeant Kenda. How you doing? I'm okay, just cold. Did you live here? Yeah, apartment 2A. What's up? Mind if I ask you a few questions about the scene, man?
He says, I am amazed that anybody got out of this place alive. Because that fire went from 0 to really, really huge in a few seconds.
So how'd you get out? Man, I jumped out the building.
He jumps 14 feet into a parking lot because his option is to remain in the building and burn to death.
Cut myself up pretty good, you know? All right. So what do you know about Randall Pierce? Not a whole lot. Cause problems or start trouble for anyone? Randall? Nah, he wasn't tight.
He said he's a good guy, he keeps himself, he's quiet, he hasn't been here very long.
I would see Randall passing by the hallway. Very quiet guy, very nice guy, peaceful, never bother anybody.
I don't think he'd bother Fly, dude. Guys that stay here, though. What do you mean? Some of them, they have loose screws, you know?
Well, he said there's some people here that can cause some problems. Some of them seem to be not wrapped too tight, if you know what I mean, and maybe a little nuts.
Like who? That guy over there.
Just let me do it.
What's his name? Stevens? Thomas Stevens?
He describes Stevens, in his opinion, as a connected, sort of very odd person that he thinks is maybe crazy.
Kenda considers the possibility that his killer might be hiding in plain sight.
Sometimes arsonists have almost a sexual attraction to the fire they set. They are in love with it. They want to watch when the building is burning.
Being the center of attention without anybody knowing they're the center of attention.
Just let me do it, officer.
Mind if I talk to him for a minute? Sure. Mr. Stevens?
What do you want?
He's being treated for a burn injury to his right arm.
I'm Detective Ken. I need to ask you a few questions about this fire. Any idea how it started?
Nope. No clue.
You want to tell me how you managed to escape?
Mr. Stevens says he was in his apartment and then he fell asleep. He woke up and his apartment was filled with smoke. And he thought he hadn't put his cigarette out properly. That statement didn't make any sense. You think, well, did you smoke a cigarette that looked like a telephone pole? Stevens says he opens the front door and it's engulfed in flame. He decides he's...
How'd you burn yourself?
I grabbed the railing on the way down, and it was hot, and it burned my arm.
When he says that to me, I'm thinking, Mr. Stevens, you can't see that this banister is in flames? Why would you grab it? Keep in mind that every other tenant in this building said they didn't even try to go to the staircase because it was in flames. So why did he do that? Unless maybe he was already there because he's the one that started the fire.
Thomas...
And he gets this startled look on his face.
It's none of your damn business.
Well, you're wrong there, Mr. Stevens. It actually is my business. And that's why we're here this morning. And maybe you're a huge part of that business. So we have a 2-story building that is totally destroyed. We have one dead. We have many injured. Then I have an oddball tenant who I really don't like it.
Can I see your shirt?
For what?
Because somebody burnt this place to the ground. I want to make sure it wasn't you.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
I'm looking for something more obviously than my instincts with Mr. Stevens. I need to have some physical evidence that says he's my person.
Thomas, you can either give me your shirt, or I'll throw your ass in a jail cell downtown right now. It's your choice.
Duffy? What's up, Sergeant?
Can we get that swab for me?
Sure thing.
There is a test that can be performed in the field to check for hydrocarbon residue on someone's clothing, which is gasoline.
Can you see the photograph of the footprint? Yes, sir. Want to hand me one of your shoes, please?
Excuse me?
Your shoe.
I just don't see it.
They are nowhere near the pattern I saw in the snow outside the rear axis of the building.
So what do we got?
It's clean.
Thanks.
He has no odor of accelerant on his clothes, and a swab of his clothing does not produce a reaction in the presence of hydrocarbon, which is gasoline. My suspicions are fading away.
Next time, be a little more cooperative.
Being what he is, being confronted, being angry, isn't illegal. Arson is. Murder is. But there's no evidence to say he's part of either one.
Getting nowhere with the building's tenants, Kenda decides to turn to the victim for clues.
My next step, in my opinion, I need to know how he died. So I proceed to the coroner's office to see what they've got to tell me.
How you doing, Dr. Stewart?
Joe? Mike?
Mind if we take a look?
Go right ahead.
He is not burned. He did not die from fire.
Do we know what killed him, Doc? It looks like it was smoke inhalation.
The smoke from a fire contains poison. It contains phosgene gas, all kinds of awful things that are produced. Rayon and nylon are burned, melted, or otherwise ignited. So it isn't the smoke that kills you, it's what the smoke contains.
But take a look at his forehead.
Oh, wow.
There was a strange indentation on the front of his skull going down to his nose, almost a pattern that was symmetric.
How did he get that?
Give me your wallet! I don't have anything, man.
Maybe somebody assaulted him, gave him this head injury, and they then set a fire to conceal the murder.
We should get some photos of this. Doc, do you mind if I snap a few photos? Not at all.
Sergeant Kenda suggested that we go back into that room where Mr. Pierce died and see if we could find anything that would explain what that could possibly be.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Anytime.
Let us know if you find out anything else.
I will.
Wrapping up at the coroner's office, Kenda and Gower head back to the crime scene.
The odor and materials has dissipated somewhat, so we're able to spend some sufficient time in there to look.
Keep your eye out for anything that resembles that pattern on his head, for any sign of struggle.
I'm looking around for anything out of the ordinary, anything that's been removed or broken or used as a blunt instrument.
I don't think so. You don't have anything out here?
Kitchen's clear.
Evidence of an assault. We're not finding blood spatter. We're not finding anything that would indicate what possibly could have given him this trauma.
But just then,
Gower.
Kenda notices something on the corner of a small coffee table.
So you got a match?
I noticed the top of the leg has the scroll work that comes.
I don't see anyone picking up his table and hitting him on the head, though.
No. I think our victim was already on the floor.
If you were crawling in your apartment, it would be right at that height where you would expect a person's forehead to be. The pattern on the forehead of Mr. Pierce was likely create around the panic, looking for a window to exit the structure, and then was ultimately overcome by the smoke.
To Kenda, it's now clear that starting the fire was the killer's main objective.
This is an arson fire resulting in death, but it's not a concealment fire of a victim who's already dead.
So what do you think, Mike?
I think we have to attack this from a different angle.
One of the key why that building was targeted.
Kenda has a theory.
Yeah. There was a bar on the first floor of the building. Maybe that had something to do with it.
The most common reason arson occurs is insurance fraud.
This could have been intentionally set by someone wanting to collect on insurance money.
Who owns this business? What are its financial circumstances? We need to get in contact with who owns this bar and see what...
A quick search of property records indicates that Rumors Lounge is owned by one Victor Ornelas.
Mr. Ornelas? Yeah? I'm Sergeant Kenda from the police department. Mind if we come in and talk to you for a minute?
Sure. What's this about?
We are not prepared to tell him immediately that the place has been destroyed by action he gives.
We'll explain everything. I just need to ask you a few questions about your business.
Rumors?
If there is a insurance fraud fire going on here, he's the person who would benefit from that. So we want to see his circumstances and his demeanor. Is he nervous? Is he evasive?
Oh, my mom's here in case you need to ask some questions.
Well, I was pretty much the manager. My mother was the one that did most of the books.
Victor, where were you last night?
I was at the bar until close. I came home, went to bed, and I just got up a little while ago. Why?
How's the bar faring?
Business could be better. I mean, we get by, though.
So life without the bar might be a little bit easier?
No. Business is tough, but we love Rumors.
Rumors was very, very important to us. It wasn't the money thing that we were after anyway. It was more of a family.
We're getting close to paying it off, so.
We owned the lounge for about 15 years. We were only 2 payments away from paying it off. We did have plans to renovate it again, because we were going to be able to use some extra money that we had saved and put away.
Well, that certainly eliminates the possibility of financial trouble as a motive. Why would you burn down? There'd be no advantage to it whatsoever on his part.
Now Kenda is saddled with an extremely difficult task.
Oh, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the bar burned down last night, and we believe it was arson.
What? What are you talking about? Burn down? Son of a bitch!
He is seething with anger. He's got rage on his face.
Wait. How exactly do you know who did this?
Because he said he was going to burn it down.
Really? Well, my. We're going to this person's home, who's the owner of this business, because we suspect this could be an insurance fraud fire. Instead of him being responsible, and instead of there being any evidence to support insurance fraud, he leaps forward as the best witness.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
Was he a regular customer?
Yeah, ever since he moved upstairs.
He lived upstairs from the bar?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us his name and what happened?
His name is Benji. Ed Benji.
Mr. Ornelas explains that Ed Benji is the guy responsible for this fire, that he's only 8 days prior to this morning, he rented a room to him upstairs above the bar.
Victor Ornelas says that although Ed Benji had only been living there a short time, he was the source of all kinds of trouble.
Benji was described by those that knew him as being small and a big mouth.
Can I help you?
He didn't want to obey rules or anything like that. He pretty much thought he can do anything he wants.
You didn't come to the bar to hang out with him, let's put it that way.
Came in last night. He was rowdy, bothering people for a drink.
No, Benji, you've had enough.
Come on, just one more.
I said you had enough. Put it on my tab. Come on, I'm not gonna let you run a tab that you can't pay.
Mindy, buy me a beer?
No.
You're gonna be such a bitch, I wouldn't have asked.
Whatever.
He disregarded everyone else's privacy. He was a very difficult person to be around.
Hey guys, you know me. Guys, hey, buy me a beer.
Come on, Benji. We got a game going.
No, we got a game. Just one beer.
No.
Dude, buy me a beer. I'm not asking.
You have a problem?
I'm not.
Hey,
One second.
you're done. You're done.
No,
You're done.
you're done. No, I'm in.
They finally decide that's enough of you.
And I kind of grabbed him by the arm and the back of his pants and escorted him outside.
Victor, come on.
That's when he turned around and he says,
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
I never thought he'd actually do it.
We've gone from a general state of confusion about this case to the golden ticket. The expression, "I'll show you," is one that made perfect sense to me. Well, Mr. Benji, now it's time for me to show you.
And what does this Benji look like?
Short, skinny, bald. I don't know.
Is there anything else you can tell us?
If I saw him right now, how would I know it was him?
He has a black eye. Yeah, he said something about getting into an argument or something. I'm not sure, but he definitely has a black eye.
Bingo.
that night, I guess he had gotten in trouble somewhere downtown. I don't know exactly, but he had a black eye.
When you say something unusual like, man, he's got a cherry red nose, makes you pay attention.
You know where he might have gone? No clue.
Ed Benji doesn't have a car, or he walks on foot every place he goes. He's not going to be too far from where he began. He's going to be in this area somewhere. As far as we know, he has no place to go.
Thank you for your help. I'm sorry for your family's loss. We'll let ourselves down.
Víctor, nuestro negocio, hijo. ¿Por qué?
With no time to waste, Kenda and Gower immediately begin strategizing how to run down their new prime suspect.
Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to split this up into different areas. Miller, I'm going to be north of Pikes Peak if you want to take south. That's perfect.
Me and my team will take the east side.
All right, sounds good. Just make sure you report in if you find anything.
All right.
Our greatest is his physical condition. A black eye. So we put that information out to everybody, and we go to all the places he frequents, because people are creatures of habit. They tend to go where they always go. We tell all of these people, if you see him, you call the police immediately.
During the station, just a few blocks from the crime scene, to see if anyone who works there has recently laid eyes on Ed Benji.
Excuse me. Yeah, we're looking for a guy that comes in here a lot. His name's Edward Benji, short, skinny guy. He's got a black eye. Can you give us a call if you see him?
Yeah, I saw that guy this morning.
Excuse me? You look at her and you think this is men.
It's not working! Come on, it won't give me gas!
Hey, man, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to get gas!
No way, you can't put gas in a trash can.
My car's half a mile down the road, please.
It's illegal.
Oh, come on, I just want to get home.
Now, Mr. Benji says he's buying gas for his car, but guess what? He doesn't have a car. He's our guy. Period, the end.
And you sold him the gas?
I told him it was illegal and I couldn't, but he was so desperate and just kept begging, and I felt sorry for him, so I let him do it.
All right, well, can you give us a call if you see him again?
Yeah, I sure will.
Thank you.
No problem.
To hear people make threats is a common thing. It's an emotion of the moment. It fades away, so does their anger. While someone comes along who says it and absolutely means it. Mr. Benji is one of those people.
As night rolls in, Kenda's men continue to comb the streets in search of Ed Benji. That evening, their resolve finally pays off.
Miss Kenda.
It's the clerk from the gas station. You sure? Oh yeah, it's him. Black eye and all.
Okay, stay right there. Don't approach him. We're on the way.
Within minutes, the CSPD fugitive team descends upon the gas station.
The officers in my fugitive unit have one purpose in life, and it's to go out and serve arrest warrants. The best people to send on this event are them. The moment of confrontation with someone is always the most dangerous moment. In police work, you never know how this is going to go. There's always that adrenaline rush. There's always that moment of breathlessness before you turn that knob.
Police department, come out with your hands up now.
What's on the other side? And for a 12-gauge pump shotgun, you have no idea what he is or what he's truly capable of. So here we have our fugitive policeman in a close quarters encounter with our suspect. They're not leaving without him.
Police department, come out with your hands up now.
Still no response. This is the moment. If it's going to go right now.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up now!
On the ground! On the ground! On the ground! Go nice down!
When they kick that door, they're expecting the worst. What they find instead is this little guy with a black eye who looks rather pathetic.
Back at the state, escort Ed Benji into an interrogation room where Captain Gower is waiting for him.
I observe them through a two-way window while this is going on, but they conduct the interrogation.
Mr. Benji, do you know why you're here?
No, I don't.
Somebody set fire to the Rumors Lounge last night. You have any idea who might have done that?
It wasn't me. I lost everything in that fire.
Mr. Benji denied being involved in the fire.
Okay, then you can tell me what you did last night.
I was at Rumors for a while, and then Victor started messing with me, so I left.
Benji paints himself as a victim of all of this.
Where'd you go?
Around. Spent the night in a car. And when I woke up, I heard about the fire on a radio I had with me.
Mr. Benji has no reasonable explanation as to why he would walk that sleep when he already has a place to sleep 10 feet away from where he's standing. His apartment.
It's pretty convenient that you happen to stay in an abandoned vehicle the night your apartment building caught fire, don't you think?
No, I don't. I lost everything. That's not convenient.
Mr. Benji, I'm afraid what you're saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense, sir. It sounds like to me you set that fire.
No, I did not set the fire.
Then who did?
I don't know, but it wasn't me.
Mr. Benji, as they confront him, no matter how many methods they use to try to get him to say something, he won't.
But without a confession, Kenda and his team will need to find another way to link Ed Benji to the crime.
Mr. Benji, may I see your shoes?
Want to see my shoes?
I was curious whether the pattern on his shoes would have matched that pattern in the snow that we followed for several miles on the morning of the fire.
Back in a minute.
What we saw in the snow and photographed matched the shoes he was wearing.
But that's not the most incriminating piece of evidence.
Check out the laces.
We also noticed that his shoelaces, they had that singed look.
Mr. Benji singes his gasoline. It's a flash fire. So when that flash occurs, Benji's standing in front of it, and it singes his shoelaces. That, in his case, is damning physical evidence.
It's time to arrest his ass.
The positive match of the shoes is the final nail in Ed Benji's coffin.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do anything.
Mr. Benji, you're under arrest for first-degree murder and first-degree arson.
Tell you, huh? Just such bull.
Although Benji maintains his innocence, Kenda is certain he's got the right man.
Benji is Mr. Angry, Mr. Confrontive, Mr. I don't get along with anybody. And he winds up in yet another verbal confrontation.
Hey, what are you doing? Move, Victor! Come on, I'm gonna burn this place to the ground!
And then he proceeds to do precisely that.
Road, please.
All right, hurry up.
He goes to a gas station and invents a story as to why he needs gasoline. He comes back to that building. He is angry and he's displaying his rage by setting a fire. And then he denies his involvement in it. But the evidence says otherwise. And Mr. Benji is going to pay a price for this behavior.
But after spending more than a year behind bars awaiting trial, Ed Benji is thrown a curveball by the justice system.
Mr. Benji is examined by a series of psychiatrists who decide and convince a judge that Mr. Benji, that he is unable to form intent. This cannot proceed in a criminal prosecution. He is then placed in a Colorado State hospital for treatment of his mental circumstances, and then Mr. Benji kills himself.
But Ed Benji's suicide doesn't bring back what was lost in the fire.
It makes it more tragic that our damage. He doesn't know Mr. Benji from the man on the moon. And yet he dies as a result of a circumstance to which he had no part.
Edward Benji is a coward because he did something in the middle of the night while people were sleeping and most vulnerable, and he didn't care who got hurt.
It is the usual story of being to nice people. It's always disheartening, it's always upsetting when it happens, and it happens all the time. A tragic end to a tragic story filled with tragic people.